bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yudapadakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahrana Rekhunathanyadam Tam Sajipam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lilita Sri Vishakhanitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Vajapatitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhagavate Srimad Swami Dinamne Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhagavate Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prachadine Sangitarine Mukam Karodi Vajalam Pangam Lengate Girim Yat Kripa Tamamande Sri Gurum Dinakarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So now we'll recite the prayers to Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire Susrusho Sradhadanasya Vasudeva Gadharuji Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat Sranadam Sakatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Hridayamdasto Hyabadrani Vidunoti Sukratsadam Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim Tata Rajastamo Bhava Kamalopadayastaye Jevedairanavitham Stidam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogadaha Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hriday Grandhi Stityande Sarva Samsaya Chiyande Jasya Karmani Drashtaye Vatmani Ishwaram Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanacha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajankre Bhagavani Hari Hari. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Text 8 actually. But Prabhu, since we have missed 6 and 7, that is on Saturday, Sunday, shall I just quickly go through those incarnations as well?
Yes, nobody was there. I just read those verses in purport, but if you want to cover them, you can cover it.
Yeah, just quickly go through those so
Sure,
that there is no blank,
right.
you know. Okay. So I will share the screen. We need to share screen. Yeah, share screen at here. Let me go. Actually, it is not this one we want. This is the one we want. Okay. Stop share. And I have to come back and share this one. Oh, chapter 7. Yeah. Share. So now we are here. Chapter 4, 5, and 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. So we'll just read 6 and 7 quickly. So translation only. So this is verse number 6. To exhibit his personal way of austerity and penance, he appeared in twin forms as Narayana and Nara in the womb of Murti, the wife of Dharma and the daughter of Daksha. Celestial beauties, the companions of Cupid, went to try to break his vows, but they were unsuccessful, for they saw that many beauties like them were emanating from him, the personality of Godhead. So, Lord Brahma is narrating to Narada Muni about the incarnations of the Lord in this chapter. So, last verse was about sorry, I forget now. About the Kumaras, the 4 sanas, which Chindamani Mataji was discussing on Friday. So today we are starting with verse number 6, that is describing the incarnation as Nara and Narayana. So the Lord appeared in this Naranarayana Murti form to perform meditation and for the welfare of the world, and to teach the science to the rishis. So he was performing this high austerities and situated in Badrika Asrama, that area. And then Lord Indra wanted to create a disturbance, challenge the Lord by sending, Srila Prabhupada says, the soldiers of Cupid, that is some of the beauties to distract the Lord. But he was not least distracted from his tapasya. And in fact, the Cupid saw so many beautiful ladies of incomparable beauty emanating from the form of the Lord, from his energies. So he was completely defeated. And in fact, the Lord, in his very humorous way, he presented Cupid with one of those ladies, the beautiful ladies, Urvashi, to be gifted to Lord Indra, to be in his court. So this is the story of Naranarayana. Here the Lord is teaching by example the austerities, tapasya required to advance in self-realization. That is, of the 4 ashramas in Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha or Sannyasa stage. Sannyasa stage and Brahmacharya stage, no association with women at all allowed. So only in the Grihastha ashrama, that is, after a candidate has fulfilled the his practice of Brahmacharya, he may enter into Grihastha ashrama if he so cannot continue becoming and become a Naistika Brahmachari. So it's so very important. The celibacy or practice, the practice of celibacy in the advancement towards self-realization. So that is the teaching in the Naranarayana incarnation. Now we will quickly move to verse number 7. Verse number 7 reads, great stalwarts like Lord Shiva can by their wrathful glances overcome lust and vanquish him. Yet they cannot be free from the overwhelming effects of their own wrath. Such wrath can never enter into the heart of him, the Lord, who is above all this. So how can lust take shelter in his mind? So, in connection with the Narayana incarnations, we already discussed a challenge by Cupid. But here, it is being recalled, the instance wherein Lord Shiva was performing intense austerities, and again Cupid went to distract him. And so Lord Shiva, who was distracted, opened his third eye and burned the body of Cupid. So here the comparison is made. So Lord Shiva became subject to the influence of wrath, whereas the Lord does not have any of these lust, anger, or any of those things in him, the Supreme Lord. So he was not, enraged by the effort of Cupid to distract him. Whereas Lord Shiva burned Cupid, Kamadeva, his body, and later he will be brought back to life much later. So the teaching is that in the Supreme Lord there is no room for for any of these lust, anger, any of those emotions do not touch him. So now we'll move on to text number 8, the verse for today, and let's read the verse. Vitha sampludita patripirandi yadatnyo bhalopi sannupagastapase vanani tasma adad dhruvagetim granate prasanno divyastu bandi munayo yadupariyadhastad. So one more time, if you can read that verse. Vitha sapatni udita patripir andi rajno balo pisan upagradas tapase vanani tasmadad dhruva gatim granate prasanno divyastu bandi munayo yadupari athastad. So since it's already 15 minutes over, we will skip the synonyms and read the translation and purport. Being insulted by sharp words spoken by the co-wife of the king, even in his presence, Prince Dhruva, though only a boy, took to severe penances in the forest, and the Lord, being satisfied by his prayer, awarded him the Dhruva planet, which is worshipped by great sages, both upward and downward. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When he was only 5 years old, Prince Dhruva, a great devotee and the son of Maharaj Uttanapada, was sitting on the lap of his father. His stepmother did not like the king's patting her stepson, so she dragged him out, saying that he could not claim to sit on the lap of the king because he was not born out of her womb. The little boy felt insulted by this act of his stepmother. nor did his father make any protest, for he was too attached to his second wife. After this incident, Prince Dhruva went to his own mother and complained. His real mother also could not take any step against this insulting behavior, and so she wept. The boy inquired from his mother how he could sit on the royal throne of his father, and the poor queen replied that only the Lord could help him. The boy inquired where the Lord could be seen, and the queen replied that it is said that the Lord is sometimes seen by great sages in the dense forest. The child prince decided to go into the forest to perform severe penances in order to achieve his objective. So we'll go a little paragraph by paragraph. Here is the story of Prince Dhruva, the king Uttanapada, son of Swayambhu Manu. And he has two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. But the king is very much attached to the second wife, Suruchi. Suniti's existence is sort of very much in the background. I mean, not at all, enjoying. She's not enjoying the reputation of a queen or the place that the position that she deserves. And Suniti's son is Dhruva, and Suruchi's son is Uttama. Both are of similar ages, and they play with their father and climbing onto his lap. So when Dhruva tried to sit on his father's lap, Suruchi came at him very harshly. She is so proud of the king being her own husband, she being the favorite queen, and she is very much offended at Dhruva wanting to sit on his Suniti's son wanting to sit on the king's lap, and she gives him very sharp words. She says, "If you want to sit on the king's lap, you have to take birth from my womb." What a statement! The little boy was so insulted and hurt by his, hurt. And the king, to top it all, is not consoling the boy or trying to protect him from her very rash, very harsh words. So Dhruva runs to his mother, Suniti, and full of, it is said that he was breathing so, like a serpent that is hurt, so similarly, Suniti, hearing the story from the other residents of the palace, she falls into a great feeling of depression. But she speaks to Dhruva, and she's a very great devotee of the Lord. So she gives him instruction even in that state, without blaming. First thing she tells Dhruva, please do not wish harm for those who try to give pain, to others. So first thing she tells the 5-year-old. So you don't immediately think that you have to go back and take revenge on your stepmother or anything of that sort. She, in fact, inspires him. Look at your grandfather, Swayambhu Manu, who pleased the Supreme Lord, and so that he can be the Prajapati, first Prajapati. And look at your grandfather, who is none other than Lord Brahma himself, who performed such great austerities and pleased the Lord. So he was, the Lord blessed him in Lord Brahma, in fulfilling Lord Brahma's desire to create. So he became the creator of this entire universe because of the Lord's blessings. So what can you not do? if you take to the devotion to the Supreme Lord. So she advises him that if you go to the forest, perform austerities, you may be also able to see, please the Supreme Lord, and you can also sit on the throne. You can, there is nobody to stop you. So we will see that then Prince Dhruva leaves for the palace and goes to the forest. And as soon as the Lord, the Supreme Lord who knows everything, the young prince's determination to go to the forest. So then immediately he is met by Lord Narada himself as the supreme teacher, and he instructs him how to, and he first tests the young boy, the little prince, are you really up to this task? Then Dhruva proved more than worthy by his words and determination. And so Narada Muni gives him all instructions how to perform austerities, how to undertake the bhajana of the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then he steadily progresses. So we will read the next paragraph. Prince Dhruva performed a stringent type of penance under the instruction of his spiritual master Sri Narada Muni, who was specifically deputed for this purpose by the personality of Godhead. Prince Dhruva was initiated by Narada into chanting the hymn composed of 18 letters, namely Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And Lord Vasudeva incarnated himself as Prishnigarha, the personality of Godhead, with 4 hands, and awarded the prince a specific planet above the 7 stars. Prince Dhruva, after achieving success in his undertakings, saw the Lord face to face, and he was satisfied that all his needs were fulfilled. So we know the course of advancement, step by step, how Dhruva abstained from eating anything, even drinking water, or even breathing. And so the whole universe was choked because he became as powerful as the Lord, as heavy as the Lord. So the demigods approached Lord Brahma. So here is a problem. We can no longer, the air is not, Vayu is not doing his job anymore. There is something gone wrong with the system. So Lord Vishnu says, do not worry. There is this little boy, I have to go to him. I have to, everything will be all right. So the Lord appeared before him as Prishnigarha. This is the name of the Lord in this incarnation before Dhruva. There is not much reference I could find about Prishnigarha. The Lord says when he appears before Mother Devaki and Vasudeva, excuse me, Vasudeva and Devaki, that I have previously appeared to you as son twice. Excuse me for a second. Hare Krishna. So, previously appeared to you as your son twice. One is this one, son of Sutapa and Prishni. That is called Prishnigarha, and as Vamana Deva. So, so this is the name of the Lord who appeared before Dhruva. And then we know Dhruva was completely stunned. And he then the Lord touched him with his conch, so that he could he could be enabled. Dhruva was enabled to glorify the Lord in so many wonderful prayers. And he said, so after all, I was after this material, I was chasing this material goal of sitting on the throne, greater than that of my father. And seeing you, my Lord, it appears like I was looking for broken glass, some broken glasses, pieces of glass. So, Dhruva's prayers, we can read them non-stop. It is so beautiful, like Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, So the Lord is supremely pleased with him, with his devotion and austerities, and he awards him the Dhruva planet. Then the planet awarded to the Prince Dhruva Maharaj is a fixed Vaikuntha planet installed in the material atmosphere by the will of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. This planet, although within the material world, will not be annihilated at the time of devastation, but will remain fixed in its place. So Prisnigarva, the Lord created the Dhruva planet. And because it is a Vaikuntha planet, never to be annihilated, it is worshipped even by the denizens of the 7 stars, that is the Saptarshis, situated below the Dhruva planet, as well as by the planets which are even above the Dhruva planet. Maharshi Bhragu's planet is situated above the Dhruva planet. So here we have a very distinct idea. Where is Dhruvaloka? What is the position of Dhruvaloka? It is a Vaikuntha planet above all the material universes. And it is not it is not subjected to annihilation any time, even when the great devastation happens. So the Lord incarnated himself as Prisnigarbha just to satisfy a pure devotee of the Lord. And Prince Dhruva achieved this perfection simply by chanting the hymn mentioned above, after being initiated by another pure devotee, Narada. A serious personality can thus achieve the highest perfection of meeting the Lord and attain his objective simply by being guided by a pure devotee who automatically approaches by dint of one's serious determination to meet the Lord by all means. The description of Prince Dhruva's activities can be read in detail in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Dhruva story is amazing because he's a child devotee, 5-year-old, and only used to the comforts of palace life. But he leaves everything and goes to the forest. His determination and his courage, and then his faith, that amazing. And within 6 months, he came face to face with the Lord. So this is always very inspiring. The Lord's incarnations are always the stories of his devotees, devotees' purity and their devotional efforts, determination, and whatnot. So a pure devotee can lead even an uninformed child towards God realization. So this is what Srila Prabhupada came to give us all, and with which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed on all humanity, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for God realization in this age of Kali, and that is what all of ISKCON is about, leading the masses of people for God, in God realization. Since it is past 8 o'clock, I should stop here. I mean, it would be so nice to sit here and read through our prayers this morning, I thought. Thank you all very much for your patience, and sorry if I misspoke anything. Vancha kalpatarukya kripa sindhu bhevachpatanam bhavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna. Any one question or something, maybe, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Anybody has it or? Okay, I have a question. I mean, if how is that? Maybe if you can just explain a little bit more. How austerities make a person so strong that they are able to oppose or stop the natural way of right, the planets. I mean, for example, in case of Brahmaras, right? So he was able to even do a lot of things which are, I mean, against the creation, right? Whatever is happening,
Yeah.
maintenance. So
Yeah.
how does the austerities make a person so powerful? Maybe if you can just explain a little bit, Mataji.
When I think about it, Prabhu, maybe, the devotee performing this yoga practice, it's actually austerities, and they get all the yoga siddhis, perhaps, that is to become, to, control their breath, and I mean, to eat without leaving anything. And we know that Hiranyakashipu, for example, he became, his body sort of perished, and still he was existing on nothing. So similarly, at they get these kind of superhuman powers. It is, if we say stay without eating for like a few days, we'll be dead. But Dhruva progressively abandoned taking any fruits. Then he started taking water only, and then he progressively quit taking water. Then he started practicing breathing only, So these are all like in the cities. I know there is something like becoming as heavy as you can. It's and as light as you can, and being able to go touch something on another planet and things like that. So it is a mystery to me how this this devotee is able to control his breath. He can live without breathing. For example, those who perform austerities underwater, they also go without air, is it not? So these are all the things that we ordinary humans hardly can. You have any comments, Prabhu? Anybody else?
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, we can stop then.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.